Back in 2022, Mick Mars decided to leave the band Motley Crue after many years. He decided to retire from touring because of health problems, and he filed a lawsuit against the band in 2023. Now he's back with a new solo album called The Other Side of Mars. His first solo album, released on February 23rd, 2024. In this video, I will talk about the story of what led up to this album. I'll talk about the songs and whether or not I believe there is life after Motley Crue. The idea for this album dates back to 2014. He was being interviewed by Eddie Trunk, and he mentioned he was thinking of releasing a solo EP. He then mentioned it back again in 2020, and he teased it again back in 2022. But on October 26, 2022, Motley Crue announced that Mick Mars would no longer be touring with the band because of his health condition. The deal was he would remain a member and be replaced by John Five during the tour. This press release was confusing because it appeared that Mick Mars was completely out of the band. Even former Motley Crue vocalist John Corabi mentioned that it seemed like Mick Mars was forced out. Now the story starts to get interesting. In April of 2023, Mick Mars filed a lawsuit against Motley Crue. He claimed it was true. He really was forced out of the band. He also claimed that the band reduced his profit share from 25% to 5%. During an interview with Rolling Stone magazine, Mick Mars alleged that Nikki Sixx was not playing his instrument and using pre-recorded tracks. So it was evident that there was some bad blood between Mick Mars and Motley Crue. He also released 3 singles prior to the release of the album, which were Loyal to the Lie, Right Side of Wrong, and Undone. I'll be talking about all of those soon. Mick Mars wrote most of the songs, and the album was produced by Michael Wagner. He's the same guy who was the engineer on Motley Crue's debut album, Too Fast for Love. This album features Mick Mars on guitar. It also features the drummer of Korn. His name is Ray Luzier. The bass player's name is Chris Collier, and he also mixed and mastered the album. And he got a new lead vocalist. His name is Jacob Bunton. Apparently, there are 2 songs that did not appear on the album called Give Me Blood, and there's another one. I don't know what it's called. But it has John Corabi on vocals, and it was recorded back in 2016. Mick Mars did not want to put them on the album. According to Mick Mars, this was not meant to sound like Motley Crue. His guitar playing style may be similar in some points, but he wanted to do something different, and he wanted to add more instruments such as violins and keyboards. So there are 10 tracks, 39 minutes long, so let's go track by track. The album starts off strong with Loyal to the Lie. I like that song. It's a very heavy guitar riff. It's almost like thrash metal, but I think the song in general had more of a nu metal type of sound, maybe leaning towards metalcore. It was catchy. The lyrics about people who are liars and deceitful. I don't think it's about anyone specific. I might be wrong, but it's definitely a good way to open the album. Broken on the Inside is a really good song. It has a very heavy guitar riff. It's slow, it's sludgy. It reminded me of Soundgarden or Alice in Chains, that type of thing. There are also parts of the song that reminded me of Pantera with a groove metal sound. I like this track. I didn't like the end of it. They have a sound, it sounds like a CD is skipping. I didn't like that. I don't know if they did it intentionally, but I thought it was distracting. Otherwise, a really good track. Alone was one of the singles. It was an arena rock ballad, something you would hear on one of those AOR radio stations. It was the kind of song that would be popular played live. In general, I thought it was okay. I thought the production was very good. They used multiple instruments. You could hear the bass guitar very well. You can hear the piano and keyboards, and even add in some heavier guitar riffs. Killing Breed was another pretty cool album track. It starts off very heavy. The intro has a very industrial metal sound. Once the verse comes in, it gets a lot softer. The tone of the song is very dramatic. I found it to be very emotional. I like the production. On the song, you can hear everything very clearly. I like the guitar solo because it was both heavy and melodic. At this point in the album, we're about halfway through, and so far, we've had 2 heavy songs and 3 ballads in a row. It's not a bad thing. That's what they wanted to do. The next song is called Memories. This one is soft. It's a piano ballad. The vocals are very light. The lyrics are emotional. They use a lot of orchestration, and it's a slow building song. It's not too bad. After three ballads, they're back with a heavier song called Right Side of Wrong. This was one of the singles. It reminded me of Stone Temple Pilots. The song deals with issues of social and political unrest. It also addresses truth and deception and the need for change. I thought it was a catchy song. It was short and to the point and not too bad. Ready to Roll was another heavy song. I really like the heavy and chunky guitar riffs. This was the first song that I felt Mick Mars was playing in a more Motley Crue type of style. In general, the song also reminded me of Stone Temple Pilots. It had a post-grunge type of sound. Not too bad. The next song is called Undone. It starts with the heavy guitar riffs. Eventually it becomes more of a ballad. They have some soft vocals. I noticed that there is a very big production value on the entire album, and I thought this song would work well as an arena rock song. If you listen closely, you can hear a lot of other instruments used, such as the piano. I thought the lead guitar work was very melodic, and there were some heavier guitar riffs that had a grungy type of sound. They also mixed in some soft orchestration. It's not too bad. Ain't Going Back is the penultimate song. The song took me by surprise. It starts off very heavy. The opening riff was like one of those like Rammstein types of guitar riffs. They have distorted vocals. Once the chorus comes in, the song becomes very melodic and a little more on the commercial sound inside. In general, it was pretty good. It had some melodic lead guitar work. That's about all I have to say. The final song is L.A. Noir. It's an instrumental. It reminded me of a Joe Satriani type of song. It's very upbeat. Probably the only song where he really shows off his guitar playing. Thought it was pretty good. It has a bluesy sound. I like the slow and sludgy guitar riffs in the beginning of the song. Overall, not a bad way to end this album. Now for my final thoughts, I thought it was not too bad. Better than anything Motley Crue have done in the past 30 years. I would say it doesn't really sound anything like Motley Crue. I thought the sound was similar to 2000s post-grunge bands. Maybe a little bit of nu metal. Probably one of the best things that has been done by a Motley Crue member as a solo artist. Maybe similar to Nikki Sixx's band, 6am. I thought it was decent. The album is consistent. There were not any songs that stood out, but at the same time, there was not any filler tracks. My score is an 8. Let me know in the comments what you thought. And before I go, here's something interesting I found. Ace Frehley also put out an album this weekend. Ace Frehley and Mick Mars are both 71 years old, and their birthdays are about like 10 days apart. I thought that was interesting. So check out my review of Ace Frehley's solo album called 10,000 Volts. Please like this video. It helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Please subscribe. I do rock and metal reviews. I do rankings. I do more. I do a lot of retro reviews, and I'll see you in the next one. In a world where Kiss have retired and become avatars, Ace Frehley is still making music. He has a new solo album out called 10,000 Volts, and I've been looking forward to reviewing this.